Oh my God. Ah, here we go. Look alive, Crystalline. Look alive. Copy. And here we go. We're getting live on Facebook. This is Lightwork. Lightwork, is it one word? It is now. Share to your group. And it is League of Badass Butterflies. Oh my God. So I'm just sitting here minding my own business. I'm just sitting here minding my own business in my place, doing my work, packing my boxes as I prepare to move. And I get a call, a ring at the doorbell, and it's a guy, and he's with the landlord. And I thought that he lived in the apartment building, and he was telling me something about an Amazon driver. And it turns out it's something that I should not have been involved in. And they're asking me my personal Amazon information, like, oh, can we get your Amazon information? Because we need to contact the driver. And I'm like, no, you can't have my Amazon information. It's not okay for you to even be freaking asking me if you can access my Amazon account. I don't know you. So, hey everybody, it's Crystalline here, and she's wondering what is up with these crazy energies that are going on? Why are people asking me for stuff that I am not even about to give? And then on top of it all, one of my Facebook friends today sends me a message just out of the blue, and it says, "What's your phone number?" And I'm like, that's not the way you talk. So immediately my sensors go up, because this friend would never, like, just out of the blue, we haven't spoken in weeks, she would never just send me a DM and say, "What's your phone number?" So of course, I'm like, ring a ding ding, there's a scammer on this call, and I'm just talking to a scammer. And they reveal themselves as being a scammer, because I start asking them questions, because I'm like, you a scammer, let me ask you some personal questions that you should be able to answer if you were really my friend. And sure enough, they couldn't answer them. And then they blocked me, but not before I reported them. So I reported them the moment I thought that her account had gotten hacked. And so I just kept them on the line to make sure that Facebook got it, but then they caught on and then they blocked me. So whatever, at least I tried, So if you are not in Europe, so in Europe, it's already 4:30 here. It's too late for us, but for those of you who are waking up on the West Coast, all right, good morning, and protect yourselves, protect your energy. There might be some scammers out there, or people trying to get into your business that don't need to be in your business. So just be on guard, put up your force fields to keep all the detrimental energies out. All right. So welcome everybody to League of Badass Butterflies. This is our regular weekly live stream. And I see that we've got June here. Hey, June, and Lottie. Woo. Hey, Lottie. And Rebecca, of course. Good morning. Rebecca, it's like, okay, morning, early morning. And Nicole is here. Good morning, Nicole. So y'all, yes, and yes, thank you. You all keep your eyes open and don't believe the hype. Boy, the energy is strange now anyway, but I'm just I feel like the energy is strange right now. I feel like I need to just be still, and I'm resistant to being still. You all let me know how you all are doing in the chat. Tell me, like, what's your your feeling, your vibration right now? Okay, I'm going to get us going with our chat, but I want to know how you all are feeling, how you're dealing with all this interesting energy that's going on, all these wonderful opportunities that are coming forth for us to really get clear about who we are and what's important for us, huh? Now, if you're watching live in the chat, please hit live, type in live. And if you're watching the replay, this is really important. If you're watching the replay, I want to know that you joined me on the replay. Type in #replay, all right? Now, over the last couple of weeks, I've been talking to you all about the tools that every life coach needs in their toolbox. And the first week, I talked about shadow work. And then last week, I talked about healing, okay? And this week, I'm going to be talking about light work. Now, shadow work is a way that you can help your clients access the dark parts of themselves, their negative emotions, their limiting beliefs, their negative thought patterns, those kind of self-sabotaging mechanisms that are active inside them. Yeah. And by the way, you guys, my shadow work masterclass is this Thursday. So if you've not signed up for it, look, it's already, the price is up to $250, but if you're in the League of Badass Butterflies and you haven't signed up yet, if you sign up today, you can still get it for the cut price of $98. So go ahead, and Rebecca, will you please put the link to the masterclass in the chat, just in case someone wants to join who hasn't signed up already. So it's $98, and anybody not in the league is paying $250. But shadow work is a way of helping you understand what's going on inside. Okay, and we're going to talk about this a little bit more in a minute. All right, because I want to talk to you about the feminine and how shadow work helps you access healing or give healing, but using the feminine. Okay. Yeah, and last week we talked about healing. So the previous week it was shadow work. Last week it was healing. And I talked to you about my 3 favorite healing tools that I really am enjoying using: the completion process, Reiki, and this atonement process that I told you came from A Course in Miracles. And, I really appreciate healing, and I appreciate shadow work. But light work, which is what we're going to discuss today, is super important. When I was first starting out as a spiritual life coach, one of the very first things that became a pillar of my business and of the things that I taught was light work. It was something that really resonated with me. I had come from a very painful past, and I'd come from a painful past, and I wanted to heal that. I wanted to heal it in myself. I had a lot of experience there, and I wanted to help other people with that shadow. But in working with my clients, especially during those first years, I started to see right off the bat, and also because of the community in which I was hanging, everyone was into shadow work, but they weren't taking the next steps. Like they were getting into their shadow and they were digging and digging and digging and digging and digging and digging. And they were finding themselves deep in this shadow, but they weren't doing anything to bring themselves back into the light. And the idea was kind of like, oh, I'm going to do shadow work until I am healed, right? And shadow work is really, really good for helping you go in and understand your shadow. But the nature of shadow work is not necessarily that you're going to come out and be like, boom, I now am achieving all my goals and living my best life. As a matter of fact, there can be so much attachment to shadow that you don't even try to come up for air. Like you're just doing shadow, and the next thing you know is you're wallowing in your shadow, and you're like, I know my shadow, I see it so clearly. And while that is a real blessing, it's also a bit of a curse. If you are not wise, you can find yourself stuck down there. So light work is the thing that I do with my clients. I insist on doing with all of my clients now, because I don't want to wallow in the shadows. I don't want them to wallow in the shadows. I want them to use their shadow and then use it like a tool. But I don't want their shadow using them like a tool. Okay, like I'm the shadow, I rule this bitch. Like, no, we don't want that at all. Okay, so today we're going to do 3 things. All right, I'm going to talk to you about light work. I'm going to talk to you about why it's important to combine the light work with the shadow and healing. And that's kind of what I'm doing right now, actually. But then I'm also going to talk to you about your responsibility to your clients as a healer. Okay, so you have a responsibility to your clients as their healer and life coach. I want to give you some very strong points to think about. Okay, so let me check in and see if anyone is here. Let's see, I've got, of course, Nicole, and let's see, June is saying yes, and yeah, Jay is here. Hey, Jay, I'm so glad you could join us live. And Nicole says, practicing surrender, noticing when things rub me the wrong way, recognizing that I am responsible. Oh, I'm responsible for my experience, no matter what occurs externally, and doing my best to deliberately choose how I respond. Yeah, that's so powerful, Nicole. I think this is really, really important. Nicole, I'm just throwing this out there to you. Have you been writing? Have you been keeping a blog? I just want to, I think that's going to be really important for you to be writing about the things that are going on in your head and getting them out of your head and onto paper. Really important. And yes, Lati, we know you are all the way live. Lati and June, all the way live with Jay and Nicole. Right on. Let's get into this, y'all. So what is light work? Okay. Now, actually, first, let me go back to shadow work and healing. All right. Now, you all, I'm giving you my concepts. I'm giving you my philosophies. You might see things differently than me, and I invite you to see things differently, okay? These ways of seeing things work for me. They work for my clients, so I'm teaching you my way. It's not the only way, okay? Other teachers might see things differently. You might see things differently. But I like this way of seeing things. So shadow work and healing are internal. And because they are internal, I tend to think of those as being feminine, and being in the realm of feminine, being in the realm of intuition and feeling, and not direct not precise, but more about experience, okay? And definitely not measurable, not quantifiable, okay? So when I'm doing shadow work and healing with my clients, it's more about them having an experience and feeling their way through and trusting that the work we're doing is getting to where it needs to go. Shadow work is less intuitive than healing. Healing is 100% intuition. Okay, when you're doing Reiki, when you're channeling, it's all just feeling and trusting and letting things flow through you. It's very much a surrendered process. Shadow work is a little bit different in that it's still intuitive, it is still a surrendered process, but you access shadow work through a logical, mind conscious way. So, for example, when we do shadow work, I might start off by asking my client what the problem is. Okay, so that's a very direct way of getting started. Okay. But then once the client starts talking and they go from being outward, I am telling you what my problem is, they go from that to being inward, where it's, oh, I'm now in the problem, I'm in the experience, we are doing this work, this is how I feel, this is what I'm experiencing, this is what's going on in my subconscious mind, okay? So shadow work is moving from the outside in. Healing is just being in, okay? So shadow work and healing, I consider those to be very much in the feminine realm, okay? So it's about being, allowing, feeling, intuiting, all these kinds of things. Light work is very different. The divine feminine is associated with the moon. It's associated with our feeling nature. It's associated with darkness, going within to the darkness. Light work is associated with the masculine, the sun, and it's about going outward into the world, right? Having authority outward. The feminine is authority inward, right? So you can already see where we need both, okay? You don't want to just have internal authority and then you suck in your outside world, okay? No, you want to have internal authority, which is your connection to the feminine, but you also want external authority, which is your connection to the masculine. And by external, I mean literally outward, out in the world, manifesting what you want, setting goals, having ambitions that go outward, wanting to create in this three-dimensional world. Okay, this is all in the realm of the masculine and the realm of light work. So goals, action taking, you know, having a drive and making the plans to make it happen, taking the steps to make it happen, all in the realm of the masculine and light work. So some of the tools that you as a life coach can use when you're helping your clients is to work on goals, objectives, and setting intentions and action plans, helping your clients break down those big goals into individual steps. Okay, this is definitely great work that you can help your clients do. So while you're working with them on their shadow and the things that are needing healing inside, you also want to be asking your clients, hey, what do you want to manifest in the world? Like if I come to you as a client and I say, oh, I'm suffering from unworthiness, all right? And what you want to say to me is, okay, great, let's get to work on those feelings of unworthiness. You're going to take your client through all those wonderful healing steps. You're going to work with their inner child. You're going to take them through the completion process. You're going to do shadow work with them. But you also need to ask them, like, well, once you become worthy, what do you want to create for yourself, right? What is it that you want to do? Why do you even want to have worth? What is it that you want to manifest in your life that you feel like you need worth in order to do, right? So this becomes very important because it opens up another part of your client's psyche that has been shut down for a long time because they've been wallowing in unworthiness. They've been dealing with shadow work for so long, right? Or dealing with the shadows for so long that they've forgotten what it's like to even want to dream big, to have ambitions. They don't even know that they can go for those really big things that are important. And your job as a spiritual life coach is not just to, be in the shadows with them, but to be like, hey, get up, come on, let's go into the light, let's go manifest. And making sure that you know how to help people manifest is really important. So another tool you want to have in your toolbox, in addition to, knowing how to work with goals and objectives and knowing how to make plans, is a really good system of manifesting. Right. So I have my cycle of manifestation process that I use. And it's a multiple step process that helps people manifest. It helps people walk through the process of manifesting. I have also another process that I use that uses the archetypes of tarot to help people manifest. I also have a process that I use with gods and goddesses that helps people manifest. And of course, manifesting with the new moon is another tool that I like to use. So all those things are light work and ways of working with your clients, and those act as a counterbalance to shadow work, which of course I love my shadow work and I love healing, but I also really, really, really love doing light work. It's very rewarding. It's exciting to watch your clients set a goal and then go for it and to achieve it. It's very, very, very exciting. So let me check in with you all, and I'm going to ask you all a little question. And the question is, what kind of light work do you do for yourself? All right. I know a lot of you are new coaches, so maybe you've not had the opportunity to work with clients yet. If you are a more seasoned coach and you're on the call, then please give us a little insight about what you use for your clients for light work. But if you're brand new, tell me for yourself, what do you do to help you move into the light, to move out into the world, to take action on your goals and these kinds of things? All right, let me check in and see, because I see we got some chat going on here. Lati says shadow work outside in, healing, intuitive feeling. Yes, absolutely. Light work is sun, masculine, setting goals, making it happen, goals, objectives. Yes, thank you, Lati. I love how you're documenting this for me. I really appreciate that. Lati says, guide to the goal, but ask why. Why do you want to reach that goal? What are you wanting to create? Yeah. Look, Lati, I think that all these things that you're writing down, you captured all my good points, Lati. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And she's like taking notes right here in the chat. I'm like, right on, girl. Thank you. That is excellent. That's just what we need. So you all let me know kind of what your own practices are. Nicole says, I've been getting into the practice of manifesting with the moon. Yeah, I think that is probably the most, it's one of the most powerful ways of kind of like having an energetic connection with the thing that you want to manifest. You know, and the moon is funny because like I always see the moon as being super feminine, right? But the moon is more feminine the further away she is from the sun. So when the moon is full, right? So let me make sure I'm explaining this correctly. When the moon is full, she's over here on this side of the earth. And the sun, my face is the earth, okay? So when the moon is full, the moon is over here on this side of the earth, and the sun is over here on this side of the earth, right? So the sun's light is illuminating the moon. So we see her as lit up in the sky, okay? Now, when the moon and the sun, when the moon is full, she's in the opposite house of the sun. So she's super feminine when she's full, which means that she's all in healing. She's in the shadow work, okay? So she's got that light shining on her. That light is reflecting down to earth, and it's casting shadows on all of us on earth. So this is why we feel so in the dark when the moon is full, because we're being hit with the moon shadows, okay? Now, when the moon is new, she's over here in the same house with the sun. So when she's in the same house with the sun, when we try to see her, we can't. She's black. It's just we can't, because the light of the sun completely obscures her from our view. So all we see is a tiny, tiny, tiny little thumbnail of the moon, a little sliver of the moon. When the moon is over here with the sun, she's acting like the sun. That's why you want to manifest with the new moon, and you want to heal with the full moon. I hope that makes sense. My little crazy, using myself, using my face as the earth, okay? We got the full moon, the sun, we got the new moon, we got the masculine energy over here amplified, which is why new moons are such a creative time and excellent for light work, and full moon over here, excellent for shadow work. All right, cool. I hope that makes sense. And let's see. Lottie says, I pay attention to what I'm aligned to. Yeah, that's really important, Lottie. And then I pay attention to the feeling it brings. And I ask myself why. I look into my past and see what resonates and connects. I love that. I like that too. Living in Paris, one of the reasons why I love living in Paris is because there's so much freaking inspiration, whether it's the light or whether it's the way the flowers are arranged or the way they've arranged their plants and done the landscaping, or you're passing a shop with beautiful dresses and they've taken the time to really create this beautiful dynamic storefront. Everything is super creative here, and I'm constantly stimulated. And as you said, Lottie, I pay attention to what I'm aligned with, and the feelings that it brings, and sometimes, okay, I gotta admit that sometimes I'm here and I'm like, wait, there's way too much stuff for me to be trying to align with all the good stuff that's here, because it can be overwhelming. And the next thing you know, you're thrown out of alignment because there are just way too many choices. And you're like, I want this, I want that, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to go over there, I want to see that, I want to go see that, I want to go do that. And then you don't get any rest. Okay. And then you come home and you're exhausted at the end of the day. So my point, though, is that I love what you're saying, paying attention to what feels right for you and understanding where you're being led. I think that's really important. And June Gemini says, I journal and use tarot cards to help guide me in what I need to work on. June, you are speaking my language, because every day, journaling and tarot cards, absolutely. And combining that with what Lottie does, the answer is yes. Like feeling what I feel and then going back and writing about it, talking about it with my spirit guides, using tarot cards and journaling. That is totally my way. Lati says, it sounds like me and my partner, I definitely need to replay this part. Awesome. I'm glad. And Lati says, in journaling, I often go back to my notes journals to get realigned. Yep, exactly, exactly. And one of the wonderful things, I'm just going to throw this out there, then I'm going to move on to the next thing, y'all. But one of the things that I love about this moon is like manifesting with the moon, whether it's manifesting or healing. When you journal about it, what you're going to find is that you actually have a chronological kind of understanding of your growth, because the moon is constantly changing and it's constantly urging you to a new and better experience. It's moving us higher and higher in our evolution. That's like the moon's job. So when you are journaling with the healing you're doing during the full moon and the manifesting you're doing with the new moon, what you're doing is you're creating like a document, a living document of your own growth and your own desires and your own challenges. And believe me, when the shit hits the fan and things get really, really tough for you along the way, you can go back and see through your moon journaling, like what the root cause of the problem is. It is so powerful. So I love using my journal and doing it consistently. It's very, very, very peaceful for me. So let's get into this thing that I call the responsibility that you all have to your clients, right? So healing and shadow work are definitely a part of your responsibility. Light work is definitely a part of your responsibility. When you decide to become a spiritual life coach, it is not about making money. Okay, yes, you are going to earn income. There is no doubt about that. And you should earn income. But nobody on this call said, I'm going to be a life coach because I'm going to get rich. I'm going to get Oprah rich being a life coach. Said nobody ever, okay? Especially being a spiritual life coach, okay? So you kind of came into this because you really want to be of service. That's, I think, what 99% of the people on this call are going to be like, yeah, I have this feeling like I just want to help people. I don't know how I'm going to help them, but I want to help them, right? That's what most spiritual life coaches come into this with. And what I want to just kind of, I want to affirm that for you, but I have 13, okay, y'all gonna have to bear with me. I got 13 responsibilities that you need to be willing to take on if you are going to be a successful spiritual life coach, all right? So let me get into this and start telling you about what these responsibilities are. The first responsibility that you have is, I call this the guru imparting knowledge and wisdom. And what I mean by that is you have a responsibility to like actually learn. You have a responsibility because you're a leader, okay? When you are a coach, you are a leader. So you need to be learning as much as you can. Reading books, watching videos, going to workshops, doing seminars, doing retreats, participating, watching live streams, learning, but you also need to be channeling. Okay, you need to be listening, meditating, clearing your mind of junk so that you can hear wisdom from above. That's what guru does. Guru is like, I'm a guru because I'm connected to the wisdom that comes from the heavens and the wisdom that comes from the earth. Okay, so you need to be that guru imparting knowledge and wisdom. You got to take what you've heard and then share it. Just like I come in here every week and I give you some information, this is guru imparting knowledge and wisdom, okay? And that's your job. You need to be going live on your page, on your YouTube channel, you're in your Facebook groups, doing all that stuff. If you don't know what to go live about, you need to figure that out. In the meantime, just go live for 2 or 3 minutes and just check in with people. Give people a good morning blessing. You can do that stuff very easily, okay? Just from where you are right now. Doesn't have to be fancy, okay? It'll get fancy the more you learn and the more you build your business, but it doesn't have to be fancy right now. Just start, okay? Start practicing so that you feel comfortable on camera. Now, the next responsibility you have is to be the intercedent between spirit and human. And what that means is, again, it's kind of like what I just was talking about, but your clients don't all know how to like talk to themselves or talk to their spirit guides. And you can help them do that, right? So when a client comes to me for a reading, they're coming to me not to hear my advice, they're coming to hear their spirit guides, right? So when you do a tarot reading, you're acting as an intercedent. Not everybody needs tarot cards. You might be someone who's just open and you just channel, boom, like I just get it, boom. Esther Hicks, Abraham, boom, she gets it, she says the words, okay? She's an intercedent between spirit and her tribe, you know, the people that are listening to her, her audience, okay? That's your job, right? Even when you write, like this morning, I woke up and I wrote this, you can see it on my personal profile. I wrote an article about your worth and your relationship with your ego. That's spirit and I talking, spirit's channel, you know, sending me messages and I'm typing it out like, just here, philosophizing, here, boom, spirit. And I'm engaging with what spirit is showing me. And I'm typing it out and sharing it, being an intercedent between spirit and human, okay? That was number 2. Here's number 3, role model living uprightness and positivity. So your job as a spiritual life coach is to like live like somebody who is connected to the feminine and also knows how to rock the masculine, right? And you live in integrity. So you're positive, you are connected, you feel safe, you deal with your role model. So you are doing things that your clients want. Your clients want to be doing the things that you're doing, and you're doing the things that are showing them, modeling for them I'm going to say it, the right way to live. So for example, for me, the right way to live is to take care of myself, to keep my word to myself, to create things of excellence, to give offerings of excellence. I do that because I want to be a role model for you. I show up on my live streams every single week, whether I want to or not. Okay, sometimes I'm tired, sometimes I'm sick, but I show up anyway because I want a role model for you. I want to show you that your audience is important. My audience is important. You guys are important. So these are things that I'm modeling because I want you to be able to do that, to show up in integrity for your clients as well. And also, you know, delivering high quality offerings where it's not just some bullshit that's being thrown out at you, but there's really thought through material. That's important. Like being high quality is really important. I want to model that for you, okay? I want you all to know that I'm not just a pretty face, okay? I'm not just gorgeous, okay? I'm also excellent. I want to model for you how to have a really big ego, all right? I'm joking, but I'm kind of not joking because I'm not joking, because it's not about just getting, putting on makeup and getting in front of the camera and talking bullshit, man. You've got to think. You have to develop your spiritual philosophy. You have to dive deep into this work and not stay in the superficial realms. And please don't go quoting other people. Stop quoting other people unless you're getting ready to take a deep dive into that quote, okay? Anyway, let me get back on track. I got a lot to get through. let me check in with you all and see, because some of you all might be like, Crystalline, your ego is jumping out. Okay, your ego is jumping out. Let me see what, oh, Liana's here. Hey, Liana, it's so nice to see you. And Lottie taking notes. Thank you, Lottie. I appreciate it. Let's see. Lottie says, you're saving me so much by doing this. I know. Everybody, we need to send Lottie a note of thanks because she is definitely like on the job today, doing all the things, like making notes for everyone. This is so nice, really good. And let's see, we've got Francesca. Hey, Francesca, it's nice to see you. Hey, with a sparkle. And Lottie says, intercede between spirit and human. Yep, exactly. Thank you. And role model, that's right. Good job on the note taking there, darling. Thank you. She says, I'm over here multitasking, trying to make sure I keep up. I'm glad my ADHD is saving everybody. Okay, look, 3 cheers for Lottie and her ADHD. Okay, but I have to say that you know, you're doing such a great job with taking the notes. You're sounding a little bit like you might be a little bit OCD, because you were like, let me get all these notes down. I do not want to miss a thing. That is excellent. Okay. Very well done, my friend. Very good. So let me get into the next level. And somebody has joined me here on Zoom, but it's a phone number. So I'm not sure of who that is. If you have any questions, I'm going to open up. When I'm done going through these 13, I will open up the, I'll open up the mic and we can chat about it. Okay. I'm almost there. I'm only on number, I'm on number 5. So let me, oh no, I'm on number 4. Here we go. Number 4, y'all. Let's see. Oh, so your responsibility as a spiritual life coach is to be a facilitator of energetic change in the body and mind, and you have to bring relief to trauma. So as a spiritual life coach, you basically have to help people deal with their energy. They might be having a feeling of density, lowness, depression. You need to know how to change that energy, whether you're changing it through mindset work or through, you know, using Reiki, using your magic, whether you're helping them with their diet, you know, helping them do a parasitic cleanse, you need to have some systems in your toolbox to help you change their energy, okay? Change the energy in their mind, change the energy in their body, and help them when they're going through trauma, all right? Number 5, you need to be a partner in their spirituality, helping the client recognize the presence of spirit in them and about them. And what I mean by that is you have to always, always remind your clients that they are not only 3-dimensional beings, because you know that when they are living their lives, they are caught up in the 3D world. And your job is to help them be in the 3D world, but also to navigate the 3D using their connection to spirit. So your job is not to take them away from the 3D where it's like, oh, you don't need to deal with, you know, your 3-dimensional problems, you just be with spirit. No, your job as a coach is to help unite those two and help them be successful because they've united the two. All right, so this is where you need to really have your system for helping people heal in place. If you don't have that system, then you need to build the system. Okay, this is an imperative. This is your work. All right. Number 6 is support in emotional stability in intellectual explorations. So here's what I mean by this. Now, I'm going to tell you the wording that I just said one more time, and I know it sounds a little bit strange, but I'm going to explain it. The words are support in emotional stability in intellectual explorations. And here's what I mean by this. As a life coach, a spiritual life coach, your job is to help your clients understand themselves as spiritual beings. Now, when you're dealing with people, they can forget or they can want to escape the 3D world. And what you'll find yourself dealing with is someone who wants to just get out of the 3D. And that can be, I want to escape by leaving responsibilities, or it can even be, I want to escape by leaving the world, meaning you're dealing with someone who's dealing with, for example, suicidal ideation, right? Your job as a spiritual life coach is to always help your clients be emotionally stable. Now, sometimes you're going to need them to deal with dark parts of their life. So, for example, if you had a client who was molested as a child, they may not want to go back there, but Spirit might be letting you know that they need to go back there so that they can have the breakthrough they need so that they can move forward in their life. So what you've got to do, your responsibility is not just to take them back to the past, but to take them back to the past and help them organize their emotions. So they might need to go to an extreme of emotions, but what you need for them to do is to come back into balance, right? So again, going back to what I was talking about at the beginning of this call, there is the shadow work and the healing where it can be very, very dark and internal, and you're dealing with the subconscious pain and trauma. You need to deal with that, but then you also need to bring the light, right? How can we turn this into something positive? What can we do to bring flowers to that wounded inner child? What can we do to bring light into that dark place? Okay. When you bring light, that will help the emotions balance. Where there's the grief and the loss and the devastation is not going to become the dominant energy now that you've, awakened all these things that were locked away. But now you are actually helping those emotions release and balance, okay? That's your job. You want to be a spiritual life coach, you need to help people have emotional stability while you're doing these intellectual explorations, okay? Next, number 7, we are getting there. Okay, we're almost there, y'all. As a life coach, your responsibility is also to be an empath that validates the perspectives and the emotions of your clients. You have to validate their perspectives and their emotions. And validation is huge. Most people walk around feeling invalidated. And when people feel invalidated, they can't move forward because they are invalid. How are you supposed to move forward when you feel invalid? So, and what they do is they go out and they look for validation from outside sources. Now, you are their life coach, and your job is to validate their perspectives and to validate their emotions, but also to move them into a direction that is going to be most beneficial for them, right? So this is a little bit of an art form. So yes, as an empath, oh my gosh, there's a pigeon. This is hilarious. I have to tell Vincent. So sorry, guys. I just totally got distracted. I'm coming back though. Here I am. All right. So being a spiritual life coach, one of the things you have to do is not invalidate your clients, even when your clients are coming to you and spirit is going ring-a-ding-a-ding-ding-ding-ding. They are not right here. They are on a track and it is not a good track. You still have to know how to be the empath that validates them, validates their perspectives and validates their emotions, and then moves them on to something that is going to be right for them. You are the intercedent between spirit and them. So you're going to listen to spirit and spirit will teach you how to navigate. But in the meantime, you need to know how to be an empath. Okay. Sorry, I'm going to check in with you all and see if I'm making sense. if everything here, and if you all have any questions about anything that I'm saying, please let me know, okay? Lati is still on taking notes. I love it. Thank you, Lati. It's really good. Nicole says, oh, that is such a mood. LOL, that's funny. Very good. Excellent. Let's see. And then inner child healing. Yes, very good. Lati, you are on fire. You're doing a great job. And you actually did a really good job with those last two as well. Yes. Yes, help to stay accountable, help them get back to emotional stability, but also accept the dark parts of life. Yes, exactly, Lati. Thank you so much. Excellent. Really, really good work. Thank you. Now, you guys, we're moving into the end of this, okay? So let me finish this up. Now, number 8 is your responsibility as a spiritual life coach and healer is to be the messenger that brings spiritual context to the problems or the illnesses in terms of the bigger picture. Okay, so this is again, a little complex, but basically what I'm saying is that your client is having an experience of a problem. Okay, they're having an experience of a problem. They're not going to come to you. Okay, your clients don't come to you and they're not going to say, I am having the experience of my husband having an affair with his secretary. What they're going to come to you and say is, my husband is having an affair with his secretary. Okay. Your job as the messenger and the intercedent is to help them understand that they are having an experience of their husband cheating on them, that they are God having an experience of their husband cheating, right? What's the difference between my husband is cheating on me versus I'm having the experience of my husband cheating on me? One is ego in the 3D world, separated from God, and the other is spirit having a human experience. And the difference is monumental, okay? And we do not expect for a woman who's just found out that her husband's having is having an affair, we don't expect her to immediately detach from the 3D world and be like, yes, I am zen about my husband and his affair. No, what we expect is for her to be in the 3D, and then we expect that she has to go through her emotional process, her grief, her loss, her feelings, just go through the whole tumult. And then when the time is right, maybe weeks later, we are able to put this into a different context. All right, we can say, hey, Susan, so what's going on? What is it that, what's going on inside your spirit? How are you feeling? Let's look at, the past. Let's look at your vibration. Let's look at the frequency. Let's look at the karma. Let's look at your mindset. Let's look at thought patterns. What is going on around you in this situation, right? So in other words, we want to bring them out of the limited small 3D into the big picture, right? So when her husband is having an affair, maybe we need to help her see that his affair is not really about her, but about his own insecurity. Yes, she still has to deal with the affair, but it's not her that is the problem. Maybe that's what this is about. Or maybe in this particular case, it is about her. Maybe he's acting out and this is an opportunity for her to see. Maybe he's holding up a mirror to her about something. But either way, it's our job as a spiritual life coach to discover what that problem is and what is being shown through the spiritual context, okay? So as I said, spiritual context is vibration, frequency, It can be emotions, it can be the karma, the mindset, it can be anything, okay? Any kind of behavioral patterns, thought patterns, anything like that. That's the spiritual context, all right? Okay, let's go to number 9. Number 9 is you have to be the leader that models responsibility to yourself and to your community. So a little earlier up here, I said somewhere that you need to be a role model living uprightness and positivity, right? That's more about your attitude, okay? That's about your attitude. Down here at number 9, I'm talking about like showing up in life as a leader and modeling that for people. So, I don't know about you all. In my past, I was never political, and I was never involved civically. I would only vote, that would be about it. And I only voted in like the big elections. But now, as I've gotten older and I've taken on more of a responsibility role, and I realize that I want to model for the women who are younger than I am, how to actually be a civic leader. So for me, that means that I show up in my community in a certain way, with you all, yes, online, but also in my 3D world, participating in my local community, showing up at the meetings, the board meetings, and all these kinds of things, and being active in my community. You all get to define what that means to you. But maybe, when you're doing your moon gatherings at the beach, maybe you're also going to host a beach cleanup, so maybe we're going to do a moon ritual on the beach, and we're going to do a beach cleanup. Like, that's a really big statement of being a spiritual leader, working internally, but also taking that out into the 3D world. I love that. And I think that that's a part of our responsibility as a spiritual life coach. So learning how this works for you and how you want to do that, I think that's worth investigating within yourself. How do you as a life coach want to actually contribute civically and to your community around you? All right. Now, this is kind of fun. I love this one. Number 10. Number 10 is probably my favorite. Number 10 is being an influencer who models a healthy lifestyle, healthy ambition, passion, healthy passions, and success. I like that. I think that as a spiritual life coach, being successful, I think that's important, and it's really important for your clients. Your clients want to work with people who are successful. Your clients are not going to be like, oh yeah, my life coach is broke. Like, my life coach can't afford to, I had to loan my life coach some money. No, we don't want that. Okay. We want to know that you as a life coach, you're walking your walk, and you're smart. You're managing your life. You're managing your money. You're managing your business. You're successful. You're prosperous, right? Now, when you all are new, you've got to, you're managing smaller amounts of money. Maybe you got one client and they paid you $50. Okay. Manage that $50. That's okay. Manage the fuck out of that $50. Okay. Know where that $50 is going. And also manage your business. Understand where that $50 came from, and understand what you need to do in order to grow that, so that you can have more money and maybe raise your prices also, so that you're not getting paid $50 as a life coach. Life coaches should be earning a minimum, oh my God, a minimum of $150 an hour, and if you can get it up to $250 or $350, that's more in the coaching range. Keep in mind, we are not therapists, okay? Life coaches, we have an agenda. We got to get our people to their goals. When you get people to their goals, okay, that's when you charge more money. All right. Okay, let me hurry up because I'm running out of time. Number 11, okay, everybody loves number 11, but number 11 is being a dream builder who recognizes the great potential in her client and brings out that potential in the form of goals and objectives and puts them down on paper as the starting point for a better life. Okay, so your responsibility is to recognize the potential in your clients and to help your clients set really big goals and then help them achieve those goals. Okay, I'm speeding up because I'm literally running out of time. All right, I think that makes sense, and I think I've spoken a bit about that already anyway. Number 12 is really important. Okay, number 12 says you need to be the coach that is guiding your clients toward accountability to the promises they make for themselves. Okay, so you're a coach, you guide your people, they made promises to themselves. So for example, if your client says, I want to lose weight, right? And you say, okay, so what are you going to do to lose that weight? And the client says, well, I'm going to exercise 3 times a week and I'm going to a nutritionist. That means that your client needs to show up to that nutritionist, do what they say, and do their exercises, okay? And your job is to help them maintain and be accountable to the promises they made to themselves, okay? So they're going to show up and do those things, all right? That is really your job as a coach, is holding people accountable. Healers do not have to hold their clients accountable. I can go in, somebody can come in and get Reiki from me, okay? And then I let them go. I can say, hey, go take care of your stuff, you know, drink water, rest, write in your journal, bye, right? I may not see that client again for another year until they need me again, okay? Now, as a coach, it doesn't work that way. As a coach, they are coming back to see me in 3 days, 4 days, or maybe a week, no more than a week, okay? And they're going to keep seeing me for several weeks. For me, it's 13 weeks as a minimum, okay? So they are accountable to everything they say that they're going to do. On day 1, we write out their objectives. I make them make their promises, and then they've got to follow through every week with those promises. That's my job as a coach, is to hold them accountable. Last one, y'all, okay? As a certified professional, okay, if you are a certified professional spiritual life coach, you have to have created a complete, well thought, a tried and tested, validated system of healing and transformation that promises and guarantees a specific and measurable change that gets your client from point A to point B. That is like, that should have been number 1. Okay, that is your biggest responsibility. Your biggest responsibility is to create a system of healing and transformation that gets your client from point A to point B. Okay, and the way they get there, it has to be measurable. It can't be like, oh, how do you feel? I feel good. Okay, that's not good enough for a life coach. You have to have specific measurable things where you're checking it off, okay? Like, we did this, we did that, this is what you should experience, and this is what they will experience, okay? It's real transformation. All right, let me check in and see how you all are doing. All right, Lottie, did you get the last one, darling? Were you able to get number 13? Let's see. Lottie, it is, you need to have a complete, well thought, tried, tested, validated system of healing and transformation that promises and guarantees a specific and measurable change from point A to point B. Ooh, look at her, she got it all. Go Lottie, go Lottie. Hey, nice job. All right, lovelies. So, hey, Emma Louise, I'm glad you made it. Thanks for coming. Glad you made it, darling. Um, so look, everybody, I'm really glad that you were able to join me today. We're going to start something new in the coming weeks, so I hope that you all will be around for that. Yeah, that's kind of all I have to say for right now. Just next Tuesday, put it on your calendar, come and join me again here. All right. And look, if you all are ready to become a spiritual life coach, if you are ready and you want to learn about my program, Rebecca, will you please drop a link for the certification page in the chat, please, darling? This is, I help you put together all of those things. My program is 10 months long, and I literally help you build out everything you need to have in place so that you can be a great healer. I help you build your program. I help you build your website, your social media. I help you build your content so that you know all the things that you need to be talking about, all those things. It is there for you. So thank you all so much for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you next week. And of course, in the League of Badass Butterflies. All right. All right. Crystalline's going to go ahead and sign off. Bye for now, everyone. Bye. I always feel like I want some exit music. Do, 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 do. Bye.